All right, so today's lesson is 9-1, which is ratios. Okay? You've already written down this vocabulary. It says that a ratio is a comparison between two quantities in which for every unit of one quantity, there are B units of another quantity, in which for every A units of one quantity, there are B units of another. The phrases for every and for each are used to define and describe ratios, okay? Now, before we continue, I want to tell you that there are 3 different ways that you can write ratios, okay? The first way is using colon, okay? So you can see, like it's A to B, just like that. Make sure you write this down with your vocabulary. Another way that you can see is using the word to. So A to B. A to B, using the word to. And then finally, the third way is using a fraction form. A to B. When we're doing calculations, the fraction way is I think is the most efficient way to write your ratios. Okay? All right, so here we have some pictures, some diagrams. And we're going to write ratios with them. So here, number 1 says what fraction of each circle is shaded. So here, we're going to write them as a fraction, okay? So, what fraction are shaded? So, how many are there shaded? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, right? And out of how many total? 12. So that's going to be 6 out of 12. And yes, we can simplify that by dividing by 6, of course. This is how we show our work. And then we end up with 1/2. Is everybody clear? You always simplify. Good? All right, if you can. So for the next one, we've got, how many are shaded? 2. Out of how many?
5.
Very good. 2 to 5. And how about for the last one? Let us see.
3.
3 out of
4.
4. Very good. So those are the ratios. The other ways that we can write them, we could write 1 to 2. We can write 2 to 5. We can write 3 to 4. And then, of course, you could also use the words. So you could write 1 to 2. You can write 2 to 5. And you can write 3 to 4. All right. Now, for the next one, I just want to say what ratio, okay? What ratio of each group is shaded, okay? Shaded to the whole group, right? What is shaded? So, who can tell me letter A? Oh, very good. So we can write 3 to 6, and then of course we're going to simplify. Very good. So here, this is going to be 1 to 2. Piece of cake, right?
Yes.
All right. Who wants to try letter B? It's going to be 5 to 9. So you can write 5 to 9. Or you can write 5 to 9, 5 nines. Or you can write 5 to 9. All 3 different ways are acceptable. All right. So in a bag of 12 marbles, there are 3 blue, 5 red, and 4 green. What is the fraction? What fraction of the marbles are red? So what do we have to do on this one? So, all right. So this one we're comparing the red marbles, and we should write that down, red marbles, and we're comparing that to the whole bag. So I'm going to write to total. Okay? So, how many are red? 5. And how many are there in total? 12. So the ratio is 5 to 12. So example 1 is understand ratios. It says a recipe calls for 6 cups of water and 3 cups of uncooked rice. Trinity only has 2 cups of uncooked rice. She reasons that because she subtracted 1 cup of rice, she needs to use a total of 6 minus 1, or 5 cups of water. Is her reasoning correct? And I want you to explain it. So, good job, you guys. No, she is not correct because a ratio is a comparison using division. It's a fraction. Okay? We use multiplication and division to keep the equality. Please make sure you write down that explanation so you have an idea of what to expect, what I expect when you're answering the explain. Okay? A ratio is a comparison using division. Okay? She's wrong because she used subtraction. Okay? So here, this one says a fruit salsa recipe calls for 4 cups of finely chopped strawberries and 2 cups of chopped pineapple. I want to know how many cups of strawberries does he need to use if he wants to use 3 cups of pineapple. Okay? So, again, we're not writing the entire word problem, right? We're just writing the important information. So what's important here? Yes, Martha. Okay, so it calls for 4 cups of strawberries. What else is important here? Yes. 2 cups of pineapple. Very good. And we want to know, how many cups of strawberries does he need to use if he wants to use 3 cups of pineapples? So there's the last bit. So he wants to know, let's see, we want to use 3 cups of pineapple, and we want to know how many strawberries, how many cups of strawberries. Is everybody clear? So, the first thing you want to say to yourself is, what are you comparing? What to what? What is your ratio going to be? So, we're comparing strawberries to pineapples. So that's the first thing you're going to write. So let's just write S to P for strawberries to pineapples. Okay? Now, you want to write your original ratio, which is how many cups of strawberries?
4.
4 cups of strawberries to how many cups of pineapples? 2. So we have 4 to 2. Now, we want to use 3 cups of pineapples. Can I get from 2 to 3 by multiplying? No, we can't. So,
Good morning, teachers.
okay, so we can simplify. So we can divide by 2 here and divide by 2 there, right? So that's going to give me 2 strawberries, 2 cups of strawberries for every 1 cup of pineapple. Now, can I get to 3 pineapples, 3 cups of pineapples? How do I get from 1 to 3? Times 3. So you're going to multiply times 3 here. You're going to multiply times 3 there. So this is going to give us 6 cups of strawberries to 3 cups of pineapples. Is everybody clear with that? When we divide, this is called scaling down. Make sure you write this down. Because the ratio is getting smaller, right? The numbers in the ratio is getting smaller. The ratio stays the same, but the numbers are getting smaller. When we multiply, the numbers in the ratio are getting what? Bigger. So what do you think that's called?
Scaling up.
Yes, scaling up. So it says, a florist sells small and large bouquets that have the same ratio of flowers. We want to write and interpret a ratio that compares the number of carnations to the total number of flowers in the small bouquet. Then we want to determine the number of carnations in a large bouquet if the large bouquet has 36 total flowers. Okay? So the key here, and you guys, the information right here in the table, that's important also. So, what are we comparing? Good. We're comparing the number of carnations, right, to the total flowers. Does everybody see that ratio? The number of carnations to total flowers. Now, what's also important up here is that the small and large bouquets have the same ratio of flowers. That's also important, okay, to keep in mind. Okay? What else is important in this problem? Right. So, there are 36 total flowers in a large bouquet, okay? And we want to determine the number of carnations. So we're going to write carnations to flowers. To total. Carnations to total. Now, we want to start with our original ratio. So, how many carnations are there? 6. 6 flowers in the small bouquet, right? So this is going to be 6. And this is where we get that information, of course, in the table. 6 carnations. Now, how do I get the total? No. In the original ratio, you just add up the total here. 6 carnations, sunflowers, and tulips, you see? So we're going to add for the total. So a small bouquet contains all of these flowers. That's going to be 6 plus 4, that's 10, plus 2, that's 12. So this is 6 to 12. Is everybody with me? Now, we want to get to how many total flowers? 36. So, we want to get to 36 total flowers. How am I going to get to 36 from 12? Very good. We're going to multiply here times 3. And if I multiply by 3 in the bottom, I have to? Very good. So, 6 times 3 is 18. So, the answer to my question is? No. 18 carnations. Remember, you have to read the question to be able to answer it. It says, determine the number of carnations. It didn't ask you to tell me the final answer as a ratio. Did everybody understand that? It says how many carnations. So the answer is 18 carnations. All right, so you guys are going to do letter B with your table partners. It says write and interpret a ratio that compares the number of sunflowers to the total numbers of flowers in a small bouquet. Then determine the number of sunflowers in a small bouquet if there are 24 total flowers. So yeah, we're comparing sunflowers to total. So what's my original ratio that I'm going to put in here? How many sunflowers in a small bouquet? 2 to a total of 12. So that's 2 to 12. And we want to get to 24 total flowers. So how do I get 12 to 24? Multiply by 2, and that's going to give us 4 over 24, which the answer then is 4 sunflowers. Is everybody clear? You need to make sure you write down that final answer. It says a bakery sells a small and large boxes of fresh baked muffins. The manager of the bakery wants to maintain the same ratio of each type of muffin in a large box as in the small box. Okay? We want to write and interpret a ratio that compares the number of chocolate muffins to the number of cinnamon muffins in the small box. Then we want to determine the number of cinnamon muffins in a large box if the large box contains 9 chocolate muffins. What are we comparing here? Cinnamon muffins to chocolate muffins. Let's see. I'm gonna highlight it up there. So we're comparing the number of chocolate muffins to the number of cinnamon muffins. See that? Okay. So we're gonna write chocolate to cinnamon. Cinnamon. All right. So, what is my original ratio going to be? Chocolate is 3, and cinnamon is 1. Okay? What are we trying to get to?
9 chocolate muffins.
Right, so we want to determine the number of cinnamon muffins if the box contains 9 chocolate muffins. Excuse me. So, how do I get to 9 chocolate muffins?
Multiply by 3.
Right. So we're going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3, and that's going to give me 9 to 3, which means that my answer is going to be
3.
determine the number of cinnamon muffins. Right. So we want 3. That's going to have 3 cinnamon muffins. Is everybody clear? All right. Now, I am going to finish this last example, and tonight, in addition to your IXL homework, I want you to make sure that you get to the video, because I recorded. Get to the video and write down this last example. Okay. For this one, what are we comparing?
Chocolate muffins to blueberry muffins.
Very good. We're comparing chocolate muffins to blueberry muffins. Very good. What else is important there?
Determine the number of blueberry muffins in the medium box contains 6 chocolate muffins.
Very good. So let's write down what we're comparing. We're comparing chocolate to blueberry. And now we can fill it in. So chocolate is 3. Blueberry is 2. And we want to get to 6 chocolate muffins. So how do I get to 6 chocolate muffins? Multiplying by 2. So we multiply by 2 there and there. That gives us 6 to 4. So now the question was determine the number of blueberry muffins. So what's my answer?
4 blueberry muffins.
Very good. 4 blueberry muffins. Is everybody clear?